I'm always excited to talk to my guests, but this one in particular, I've got a little fuzziness going on inside. And actually, I got to say on my way here, I was worried I was going to be late. And I thought, my goodness, I'll be late for class again. And thank you so much, Mrs.
You're most
Clemens.
welcome.
I know. And my wife, Jennifer, said to me, she says, you're going to call her Mrs. Clemens because you were my teacher.
Well, I know, but half the kids I run into now, they have no problem. They're quite comfortable calling me Diane.
Yeah.
But others will still continue to say Mrs. Clemens or Mrs. C, which
Right.
it became
That's
later.
kind of what
which was, so.
I think that's just a respect thing, though, quite honestly.
Well, it is, because our generation, of course, mine, that's what you would always do. Everybody was Mr. and Mrs. Like,
Yep.
you never said to your parents' friends,
Right.
called them, Helen or Fred or whatever. You had to say their title.
Yeah.
That was absolutely untrue.
I get called Mr. Burrows sometimes from younger, like
Oh,
I taught
yeah,
in
the
college.
younger
But I
kids?
even told I'm David.
Yeah,
Just call
I
me
know.
David. It's different now, I guess. But
Well,
when I
it
hear
is.
it, it's nice to hear. You go, boy, your parents really taught you something.
Well, yeah, it is. And I think certain age people really prefer to hear that, or they're impressed.
Yes.
That maybe it doesn't matter that much to them, but they are impressed when
It's like a tie. I remember walking through, I think it was the hospital one day, and I had my tie on.
Oh, yeah.
And this lady, older lady, said, "It's so nice to see a young man out wearing a tie." And I guess that's what you did all the time,
Oh,
right?
yeah. You wouldn't think, like, we were just at a funeral service last week, and very few people had ties. Ward wore a shirt and tie, but he didn't wear a suit.
Yeah.
And pretty much because after retiring and everything, he doesn't own one, so pretty hard to wear.
Right.
But anyway, but a lot of the younger people, or even people his age, they were not wearing.
Yeah.
And there was a time, not only would that not happen, but the women consistently wore black.
Yeah.
And I think we all were caught in that for a long time,
Are
even though it had changed.
Are we losing some core values that maybe we took for granted?
Well, maybe, but I guess it depends on how important. Like, I mean, obviously there are some core values from before that, like, we don't necessarily subscribe to them and never have. So something like what you wear to a funeral, which is more important, your presence or what you're wearing? You see, it shouldn't really matter.
Yeah, I don't care, because honestly, I'm not going to know the difference if you come to my funeral.
No, that's right. Yeah, you wear your bathing suit.
I get it.
Yeah, so I think some of those things may be lost in that some sense, but some things have been maintained. Like, one thing I personally like is when you're on the street and a funeral procession goes by, pulling over.
Yeah.
And most people do it. I'd say 90-some%.
Yeah,
and some people don't, but I think it's because they forgot what they were doing. They
Is it maybe because we're really in a big hurry and then we didn't realize there was a funeral procession?
Usually,
whoops.
What just went by?
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are you from originally?
Well, there's a long story here. I'll make it as short as I can. I was born in St. John, New Brunswick.
Oh, nice.
Which is my mom's family, all there, her and her. There were 10 brothers and sisters, and, they didn't have a lot, so she went to work right away. She married a guy that her brothers knew. It didn't turn out very well. I guess they didn't know him that well, as it turned out. So I've never met my biological father. She left from out west in the middle of the night, basically.
Oh.
Just to get away, and went home to her mom and her family in New Brunswick. And then we moved to Toronto because a couple of sisters were there, and there was more work. I mean, that was a socioeconomically depressed area. And some cities more so than others, like in New Brunswick alone, you wouldn't say that so much about Moncton or Fredericton, but St. John really was. It was a paper mill.
Yeah.
And, so that sort of went by the wayside. But anyway, so we moved to Toronto, and I did go to school there for a bit. And the next thing you know, well, it wasn't that fast, but she'd been introduced to a man, and who was a friend of, somebody else, etc. And Anyway, she remarried.
Okay.
And I always said it was the best thing she ever did for me because she picked a really good fella. Like I would run to him. It was a reverse of your the biological parent.
Yeah.
I ran to him and not my mother. She scared me.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, my mom was a.
She was the firm
I
hand,
loved her
was
to
she?
death, but she was. Ooh. Yeah, it was a firm hand, all right.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. See, for example, here's something that reminds me of something that she believed in. And I think it was because she was on her own with a child up until that point.
Okay. Like how
no
old were you
husband.
when he came in the picture?
I was 8.
Okay.
I wasn't young, but I was 8 or 9, somewhere in there. So we would go after Mass Sundays. There was a family that we were all very close to. My mother had known them for years. And so at one time, my mom and I lived in the basement of the parents' house on Bain Avenue. I've never forgotten it. And we all went to Mass on Sunday, their family and Mom and I and my grandma, because she lived with us actually. So, and then after Mass, we'd go and we'd sit up in their little, I guess living room, receiving room, whatever.
Okay.
And there was always delicious looking candy on the table.
Yeah.
And one of her brothers said, "Diane, have a piece of candy." And like I didn't move. And they saw me and I looked at my mother, and if she said it, gave me the nod, I could take one. But if she didn't, I didn't take one.
Yeah.
She wanted to make sure people knew that I was well behaved and manners, disciplined, etc. Which I was probably beyond what I needed, but let's put it that way. She was certainly a taskmaster, shall we say, yeah.
Nice. Did you become a rebel in your teens?
Well, not in my teens, but I sure did at university.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. I had a great time at Queen's. That was the best time of my life.
Yeah? What was great about it? You were partying?
Well, but my idea of partying at that point, I'd never had a drink in high school.
Okay.
We didn't then. We called them the tech boys drank.
Oh,
Nobody else did.
Right.
So so I had my first taste of alcohol in my first year of university, and I wasn't even legal then.
Right.
So I had to borrow ID. Well, it was 21.
21 then, yeah.
And I went there at 17. I turned 18 in October.
Okay.
So I wasn't even close. And
so you mean you didn't have a legal drink?
no, I didn't have a legal thing. But there is a very quick, funny story about that. We always went to drink at what was called the Lakeview Manor.
Okay.
And you had to just outside the campus a little ways, and you had to go by the Kingston Penitentiary.
Oh.
And then this Lakeview Manor was there.
Right.
So the students always used to go there and drink because they were pretty, loose about who they let in and stuff.
Okay.
And so, but one day we were sitting there and I had just met this guy, and anyway, the morality squad came in. That's who came in.
Oh.
And they'd go from table to table, and I was busy trying to get, when they were at one table, I'd hop to another one so they couldn't catch up.
Go to the table that
yeah,
they'd already
that
been
they were.
to.
Yeah, exactly.
You thought you could outsmart
But at
them?
one point, no, they got me anyway. They came back and they said to me, "Do you have any ID?" And I gave them the ID I'd borrowed. I don't even remember whose it was now. But anyway, it doesn't matter. And then they looked at him and they said, "What's your girlfriend's name?" And he said, "I don't know. I just picked her up outside."
Wow.
I was like, that's the last time I went out with him.
Just picked her up. Don't remember the
I
name.
thought that was
Okay.
Actually, it's so funny in retrospect. Oh, yeah, I know. It's funny. Anyway, I loved it there. Queens was an ideal place after growing up in Toronto for the most part.
Yeah.
Went to high school in Toronto for all 5 years. And
Were you a good student?
I was a pretty good student because I liked learning. There were things I did, like math was my bane of my existence. I was terrible.
I still hate math.
No kidding. Yeah,
I still do this. I kick 1, 2.
Oh yeah, Ward laughs at me all the time. He say, "Well, what are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm counting."
Yeah.
Like it's the 10th to the 17th to the
Something like
I don't
that.
know.
Times.
It's finger counting. But anyway, but Queen's was a smaller university. It was lovely. It was a beautiful campus. My first year I stayed in residence. It was called Banree because of the Gaelic language.
Oh, okay.
There was a lot of that there. And it was an old building with ivy growing down the side, just
Oh,
like
yeah.
you'd think of in a, I don't know, a Charles Dickens,
Right,
whatever
like
time back
like
in the
an old
1800s.
1,000-year-old Harvard
Yeah,
or
that's what I mean,
something.
yeah. And it was the only one like it on the campus, and I felt very fortunate to, to have been assigned it, just by happenstance.
Did you pay your way through? Was that?
Well, it wasn't anywhere near what it is today.
Yeah.
My parents didn't have the money. They both worked 2 jobs
Yeah.
in Toronto. So I borrowed what I
Like
could.
each one of them had 2 jobs, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, they worked full time, and then they did the apartment building that we lived in. There were a couple of buildings. My dad did all the, major cleaning of the apartments before people moved in.
Yeah, right.
The floors, all kinds of stuff. And my mom worked retail all the time, forever, in various places. And she did all the books for her, her math was better than mine.
Yeah, okay.
She did the books for, the guy's name was Sam Brown. Why I remember that, I don't know. But anyway, she must have used it often. I don't know how. Maybe she was cursing him. I can't remember. But anyway, so I think it was more like, okay, Joe, I've got to get this done because Sam's coming today.
Right.
Yeah, or something like that.
You heard it a lot.
Yeah,
somehow.
yeah, that's right, yeah. So anyway, I borrowed what I could. There was a certain amount. And then if you were eligible, which I was, you could get X amount of a free loan. It wasn't a lot, but like
Every little bit.
the first 1 year was something like 6,000, and that was, the year in residence,
Right.
which included your food and, a whole bunch of stuff. So, yeah, I mean, so much more expensive today. Oh my God.
I know.
And I could pay it back
as
fast.
well? Did you work part-time?
Oh, I worked from the time I lied about my age back in before grade 9, and I got a job.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, in Toronto. Oh yeah, it was some job. I
How do
remember.
you lie about your age? Don't they like check ID?
Not
You just say,
in then.
I'm 18,
I don't-
and
I
they
don't-
go, yeah, okay.
I know, because you had to be 16, and
We're
I
so
wasn't. I think I was 14 maybe.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, but it was horrendous. It kept me in school even if I'd wanted to quit.
Right.
It was machines and noise and all kinds of things, and it was hard work. They gave you salt pills because we were sweating so much with the machines and everything.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh
right.
my God, it was awful. But anyway, yeah, so that was the job I had. And then later I got into some of the retail, like my mom. I think she probably got me a couple of summer or whatever jobs.
Right.
But I worked every vacation and school, like Easter holiday or
Yeah.
Whatever.
When
I
nobody
never-
else wanted to, you were.
Yeah, well, they were all like at Queens. They seemed to be a school with a lot of people who came from families that were quite moneyed.
Oh, I see.
And so when I was working on Reading Week, they were all going skiing in Montreal or
Right,
somewhere.
Did you do any traveling or anything when you were younger, like with mom and dad? Or
Oh no!
did you
Well,
go
they
anywhere?
couldn't afford. Like
Right.
the most that we ever did, we did go to the East Coast because we had family there, so we
Right,
could
right.
stay there. But nothing like like I look at my daughter, well, all of them, but Jessica, they take those kids everywhere. Well, they can afford to,
Yeah.
and their kids are very fortunate to have that.
When you were in school,
Yeah.
what were you going to school for?
Oh, well, for some reason, I still don't know to this day, I wanted to be a teacher from the time I was 8.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and
You
I
don't know
was,
where
I
that
don't
came from?
remember if there was somebody, it certainly wasn't when I went to Catholic schools because the nuns were fierce.
Right.
Who would ever want to be like one of them? I mean, I always used to
Oh,
laugh.
wow.
I'd say to the other kids, and they looked at me, and I said, you know why they're like that? They're sexually repressed. That was in grade 7. And I thought,
Well,
I don't even know. I
might
didn't
have
even
been
know
right.
exactly what that
did
meant.
they
but
have the ruler and everything?
Oh,
Was it just like the movies?
and
where
if
they-
you were doing, if
give
you
you a
did,
little whack.
yes,
Wow.
they did, and you had to jump up when they came in the room,
Couldn't
like
get
the
away
priest.
with that today.
Oh
Nuns would be
no,
in
they'd be
jail.
abused right there, yeah. But Mother Superior, when she came down the hall, and if we were in there and in the hall instead of being outside at recess, we could hear her coming because her rosary beads, you know how they wore them at their hip?
Oh, right. You could
Swish,
hear them
swish,
kinda,
and the rosary
yeah,
beads
yeah.
were banging against her. So we had to get out of there. It was a sure signal. Hey, Mother Superior's coming. Get
You
out.
better move,
Yeah,
right?
let's get out of here. Yeah.
So when you became a teacher,
Yeah.
where was your first, I guess, placement?
Oh, my full-time job?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 1970 in Windsor at, well, it was called William Hand's, very much like an Alexander Mackenzie,
Okay.
but a lot tougher, actually.
Yeah.
Because when I went there, the head of the English said to me, well, Diane, this should be a great first experience for you because the kids here will either grow up to be killers or priests.
Oh,
There was nothing in between.
nothing in between. Okay.
I know he was kidding, but he was
Yeah.
trying to highlight the big difference in
What
the
you're in
student
for,
body.
yeah.
And in those days, you had everybody in your class. You'd have children with, disabilities.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah, and they
All
didn't have
different learning
anybody assigned. Yeah, and that was hard. I mean, to be honest with you, I remember saying to people, I had this little apartment above a Korean karate place. God, it was a noisy. Oh, anyway, it was cheap and it was near California
Karate
Avenue,
Kid.
yeah. Oh my God, they were. Oh, anyway, I went home every night for 3 months, the first 3 months, and cried.
Oh.
I thought I've made a mistake and I don't have a backup plan for
Right.
teaching. I thought I wasn't any good at it.
So what got you through it?
Well, they did, the kids.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, they would say things to me like, well, you listen, and and I thought, are you actually saying that I'm doing a good job? I didn't feel like I was teaching them anything as far as information.
And were you just teaching English, or were you
Yes,
teaching, yeah.
yes, yeah. So, and then my university sweetheart and I got engaged, and we're getting married the next year. So I was only 1 year there.
Right.
And that's when I came to Forest, because he
Oh.
was with Imperial Oil. So I came to Forest. And that was for 2 years. Then we went back to Toronto because he was transferred. And then I was only 22 when I got married. We amicably parted ways.
Oh, okay.
And that's how I came back to Northampton for a number
How
of...
old were you when you parted? Like you were, like you'd been married?
26, 25.
Okay,
26.
so it wasn't a long marriage.
No, 4 years maybe.
Did you have children?
No, we didn't have children.
Yeah.
That's when I got married the second time.
Right, right.
That's who Jess and Joss are, their dad. So anyway, yeah, so then I went back to here and automatically went back to Northampton. I'd loved it there.
Yeah.
And then eventually I transferred to St. Clair.
Yeah.
And that would have been 80, what am I going to say, 87 or maybe 88, somewhere in there,
A
87.
little sooner than that, maybe.
Maybe sooner,
That's
right? Yeah.
when we met.
Yeah, well, I'm just thinking the year just kind of, excuse me, you're probably right.
I can't remember.
I'm not sure.
Because I didn't graduate.
I don't remember that.
I never graduated.
Why not?
I'm 2 credits short of a full load.
That sounds like one of those lines.
Right. I didn't. Oh wow! She's gonna give me trouble. I didn't get. I'm missing an English and something else.
Were you missing the fifth English?
Maybe.
What we called the fifth English?
Yeah, it was Mr. I remember having you. I remember having Mrs. Wismer, I believe her name was.
Oh, I don't know that name. I must not.
Mr. He was a senior English teacher.
What was it, Boise?
Boise. It was Mr.
Yeah,
Boise,
he was
I
great.
remember.
He was a
I
great
loved
man.
him.
Oh, I did
and
too.
The way his teaching style. I look back now. His teaching style
Mm-hmm.
was very different than I would say the standard
Yes.
textbook.
Yeah.
He talked in the room and he talked to us all. I remember. And Death of a Salesman. That was. My
Oh
first
yeah, I
experience with
loved
Death of a
teaching that when I
Salesman.
did.
And you had a similar style in a sense too. Like you weren't really. You had a curriculum you had to teach.
Yeah, but
you taught it how you felt was the best way, and you came. I just remember looking forward to your class.
Oh well, that's
and
really
as a
nice of you to
teenager,
say.
yeah. Well, we don't like school, I think, for the most
Yeah,
part.
well,
you know.
yeah,
I
so
didn't
it's
wanna
not
go,
hard. It
so-
wasn't hard to please you, maybe.
No, no, it was just like no,
Yeah,
you
I
were-
know.
I can remember your teachings, you know.
Well,
and
well, you know,
that's-
one of the reasons I think I chose English to teach is because it gave you a vehicle to discuss the world and people in the
Yeah.
world and
Yeah, it wasn't just reading books.
No. It was about studying human behavior, I guess you'd say, as much as it was anything. And that's the way I would approach anything that I could. And I was enjoying it, I think, definitely as much as they were.
Yeah.
I mean, we used to do things like, okay, well, let's do Hamlet in a different time period. And one group did it like, you know, grasshopper.
Oh yeah,
It was hysterical.
kung fu.
And I'm taping them while they're doing it, and all you can hear behind the camera is me laughing,
Right.
giggling, you know, because it was so funny.
And some of those discussions, I imagine there's been many for you over the years, but I remember a few times in our class, things could get a little serious because the students, I think you laid it out, the groundwork for us to be comfortable enough to be able to speak about things that were happening. You know, you could
Yes.
call it the breakfast club. If
Yes,
you could, right?
yes,
You know?
yes.
And I remember talking in the classroom about John Lennon.
Oh, yes.
And,
Well, we
and
used
the song
poetry,
Imagine,
too.
The song Imagine, of course.
Yes,
right?
yes, yeah.
Which was very controversial for its time.
Oh, for sure.
Imagine there's no heaven. Oh,
Yeah, oh,
well, you know, like,
look out.
He just said imagine.
I know. Yeah, I know. He didn't say there isn't any.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
You remember those discussions? Do you
Oh yeah,
remember?
for sure. And I remember using the songs in a lot of cases for the poetry of them.
Would be relatable
Yeah,
to students.
yeah. Oh,
right?
definitely it was. We had, and then I would let them choose a poem, and they would, you know, read it, and then they would say what their interpretation of it was. I mean, it was all being my style was always evolving.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what and that was good. It was all
Yeah, for sure.
basically the same, because in the forefront of my mind, unlike some teachers, I was teaching the student, not the subject. There's a big difference
Good
between
point. Yeah, I like
that's yeah, and therefore, I think that's why I was, you know, appreciated by them. And not only that, they knew I liked them.
Yeah.
They knew I liked teaching them.
Yeah. You got to know your students.
Yeah,
very well.
and therefore, talk about making it easy. I mean, yeah, there was very little difficulty I had over the years, here and there,
Yeah.
but nothing like some people who came into it for the wrong reasons and ended up quitting, and well, they should have.
Right.
You know, it was
right.
about holidays for them, and it was, you know, some, not all, but some of them weren't just cut out for it, period.
I remember, well, it's interesting you say that because I remember that was a time in my life where I was struggling a lot, and I had to drop your class near the end, and that was tough for me, and I remember you being sad about it, and I'm thinking,
Yeah.
what, you know,
Well,
but then, you know, again, a teenager, right? Like, I remember feeling like, well, thanks, I appreciate it, and I remember giving me a lot of advice over, you know, the time that when I did show up to class.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
I know.
right?
I
But-
didn't want to say that, but
yeah. When I did show up to class, it's fine now, right? I'm okay. But I do remember, you know, as someone who, I mean, I didn't go to teachers college. I taught, you know, part-time at the college.
yes,
for
I
a
knew you
while.
were at the college.
And
yeah.
I really, like, I loved my students, no matter where they were at.
Yeah.
And I got that from a few people, and you were one of them.
Oh, that's
And
thank you.
because I remember first day, I had like 40 students in a class, right? And I
Yeah.
was scared to death.
Yeah.
I was like, am I going to say
a lot of-
word or
lot of
whatever? Are they
people,
going to
yeah.
make fun of me? I like all those things that even the kids are probably
that's-
thinking, right?
yeah,
Did you
that's-
ever have that anxiety of getting up in front of a room full of?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
I heard. I never did that. I don't think when I was, just even occasionally at university, you're sitting in a full auditorium and I'm like this, you know, and then I was going to put it down and they caught me, so I had to speak then.
Right.
I didn't like that, and I was always comfortable eventually, always with classes. But I'll tell you, if I had to speak in front of my peers, like at a meeting, like
Right.
right, I that made me nervous. That
was
gave
the
me
worst part.
anxiety.
Yeah.
Yep.
But you just,
Well, you do it. For
Pursue.
example, I was asked to give the address at Northampton when I left, and I couldn't turn that down.
Sure.
But I would have preferred somebody else did it. I could give them the material, but I thought, "Can you deliver this for me?" But no, it became easier. I started out with a joke. Well, those of you who know me know how much I like to talk. So you're going to be surprised to find that I do not like talking in this situation. Of course, I got a good laugh.
got a little laugh and everybody relaxed.
My Uncle
including
Stan,
you.
who was in Toastmasters, taught me that. Diane,
Oh, yeah.
you got to start with a
Toastmasters.
bit of a
You
joke.
took that, did you? Did you go into Toastmasters?
No, Toastmaster, no. I just
He just
learned
taught
from
you.
him.
Yeah,
Yeah, oh
yeah.
yeah.
Who was he to you?
He was my uncle,
But
my mom's.
who was he to you?
Oh, you mean as a person?
Yeah.
Oh, well, he was an adult who, probably what you felt about adults.
Right.
I knew I could talk to him about anything, oddly enough.
Yeah.
More than his wife, my aunt, by marriage, or whatever. Yeah, it just was, he was just one of those adults that I found,
Comfortable.
yeah, very much so. And he had a great sense of humor,
Yeah.
which always appealed to me.
You have a great sense of humor.
Well, I like to think
Even your
so.
email has a great sense of humor.
Yeah.
I remember
I
first
try,
seeing that and going, really?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Always on stage.
Is that where did your sense of humor come from? Because you really do have a great sense of humor.
Well,
we
thank
we
you.
see each other, run into each other often, and you've always got a great story.
Well, thank you. I think it's important with your daily life. But my dad, he always said, Diane, whatever you do, don't lose your sense of humor. Because I don't feel like I was awfully funny back in elementary school because I was extremely quiet. I was afraid to speak up or etc. So instead I became a class clown, which a lot of people do like that.
Oh, yeah.
Always interrupting in the
Yeah.
classes where I knew everything and I couldn't be bothered. Oh yeah. I remember one time in high school, even geometry class, I always think about, what was his name? Great guy, really nice guy. Anyway, I'm talking, it was grade 11. I'm whipping around doing, we're supposed to be doing work. He said, Diane, is there anywhere I can seat you in this class that you won't talk? And before I could answer, the whole class went, no.
They knew you.
Oh,
Please
yeah.
don't put her next to me.
Yeah, I know. I really have to study, so get her away from me. That always stuck with me. Used
So
it
that
as
likely prepared you for being a teacher.
Yeah,
And,
I guess
and,
you'd say
and,
that.
And seeing, no, there's the class. Because
Yeah.
I know when I got up in front of a class, I remember going like, okay, we talk about camera confidence and being judged. And I
Yeah.
was like, we're all going to judge each other. In fact, you're judging me right now. Am I going to be a cool teacher? Or am I going to be a jerk teacher?
Mm-hmm.
But just so you know, I'm judging you. Which one's going to be the smarty pants?
Yeah.
Which one's going to be the class? Did you
There's
being the
always-
class
well,
clown
yeah, you
prepare
could-
you for that?
Oh yeah, I think so, because you could see it a mile away with some of them. And I remember some of them weren't, as nice about it. I had a couple of occasions, but, and I would just say, okay, come on, let's go outside the room. And, one of these people, a guy said, before I said that, he said, you're going to send me to the principal's office or the vice principal? I said, no, I'm not. I'll take care of it myself, thank you. Step outside. And I just said, well,
Here's
outside
how
the
it's
class.
gonna
I didn't
go.
say that, yeah. But I just said, are we going to have a problem? He said, what? I said, well, I am trying to teach a class. I don't mind people being humorous, but, your timing is not very good, the way you did that. And anyway, I didn't have much trouble with him after that. He never was a great student. I wouldn't say he stopped entirely, but I could see he maybe have become a little more thoughtful about that before he did something, or, and hopefully that continued, because that was really part of the teaching to me.
Yeah.
Behavior, like
Well, I mean,
I wanted to make the class safe enough for people who were awkward about speaking up and giving their opinion. If somebody said, oh, that's an idiot statement, so I said, look, that is not allowed in this classroom. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. And if they are, I might have said brave enough, but if they have to work themselves up to giving that answer, you have no right to make them feel awkward in any way or insult them. That's insulting. Mm-hmm. And so, we might have guffawed about that at some point, but hey, I made my point.
Yeah.
What else are you going to do?
Well, then I think that was where you likely gained, at least from my recollection, that's where you gained respect from the students. Because, I think a lot of times as a teacher or someone in authority, we command respect. You will respect me. It's like, wait a minute. Earning that goes both ways, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, I know. And you know what's funny? In my mind, back in those days, and I think there was truth to it, I don't think teachers got away with that the way men did.
Yeah.
Men, booming voice, whatever. Yeah. And, nothing worse than the female teacher who yells. It turns into a scream or something.
Yeah.
It turns into something that's very unattractive.
Yeah. I don't remember ever hearing you yell.
No.
Maybe getting a little firm.
Yeah.
And saying,
but no.
Hey, David, enough.
No, yeah. No, I didn't yell as a rule. Yeah. Very rarely.
Doesn't really do anything.
Yeah. No, I'd had enough of that growing up.
Right.
Listening to it.
But you're right, though, like back, well, at least so we're talking the 80s for me, right?
Yeah.
But even, I guess, for you, more the 70s, too. Like, it was more the male-dominant world.
Oh.
Teachers were, dare I ask this question, do you think teachers are respected as much as they were when you were teaching?
Well, that's a tough one. Like, I have one daughter who's a high school teacher in Kitchener.
Okay.
Jessica has been teaching now for 20, I think, years plus maybe. But anyway, but as she says, Mom, I'm teaching business courses, right. Accounting, those kinds of things. They are electives. Kids are there because they want to be there. So I don't, because she's taught other things, I don't have the attention or behavior problems,
right.
But they're there.
It's like,
but
it's not geography.
But she knew how to, no, that's right. But she must have known how to handle it, because I went to her school when I went to visit one time, and we were walking down the hall together, and this girl stopped her and she said, oh, Mrs. Nowak, is this your mother? And she said, yes. And she said to me, I love your daughter.
Oh.
I said, well, I'm glad to hear that. I
nice
do
too.
To hear.
I do too.
Yeah. And Jessica just kind of rolled her eyes. She's not, but she's likable enough as a teacher for sure.
Yeah.
Not
so how many children do you have?
Well, I have the two girls that are
right.
18 and 16, and then Ward has 3.
Right.
Boys at the top are 50 and 47.
Right.
Going to be 48, yeah. And then Lindsay, his only girl, is right in between my girls, so she's 46, yeah.
So you said you had 2 girls, 18 and 16.
Sorry?
I thought you said you had 2 girls that were 18 and 16. What? Did I miss that?
I do.
They're 18
and
16.
Oh, that's grandkids. What am I saying?
Right. I was like
I'm so
I'll call you 29, but I can only go so far.
Oh my God.
Yeah, those are your grandchildren.
Take that out of the tape.
No, I'm leaving that one. I got you there.
My girls are 47
right.
and 40, about to be,
they're laughing right
anyway,
now.
They're 40. What is Jocelyn? She's 40. 45.
Oh, Mom, you better get...
Yeah, 45, because she was born in 80. That's right.
You better get... I'm leaving it in for you girls.
Yeah, you fill it in.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
No, that's great, right? So, and your other daughter, what does she do?
Jocelyn has worked predominantly for the CAS.
Okay.
But, and very good at it, but ran into some difficulties, as the workers often do.
Right.
I can't go into the scenario.
No, that's fine.
But it was enough for her to take a 2-year leave.
Okay, in this area, or?
Oh yeah. She stayed here.
Yeah.
And Jessica went to Laurier, and then she ended up in Kitchener because her husband's from Kitchener.
Okay.
So, and Jocelyn, she went to Fanshawe in a roundabout way, got courses that, took her to her degree at Western.
Right.
Yeah. So
Nice.
anyway.
And St. Clair is where you retired from, is that right?
Yes, I did. Yep, that's right. Yeah, it was.
Were you involved in the sports at all? Were you
They had their
stuff?
coaches. I used to in the beginning of my career. I coached volleyball a lot.
Right.
I was with the student council. But when I got to St. Clair, like Lori Leckie and Sue Harrell were pretty much dominant because they had just retired when I had come to the school. So now they were teaching with me, and it was great. But so they owned the the volleyball department. I mean,
for sure.
Boys and girls, and that was
They
fine.
did all the way through public school.
Oh, did they? I'm not
yeah.
surprised.
I went to public school.
Oh, yeah? Okay. Anyway, so that was fine. And that was the only sport that I felt really confident, if you wish, to coach. I mean, I could have done other things like, been somebody that traveled and helped a coach or something in basketball, but that wasn't my strength for sure. And then I did do student council at a couple of schools, yeah.
How was that for you to see, students that you knew graduate and then become teachers, and then you worked with them?
Yeah.
I would imagine that they leaned on you a lot for advice.
Well,
or
it depends, not all of them. I didn't have many situations where they came back to teach with me. I can think of a couple at St. Clair. There's probably more than that, but I just can't think about them right now.
Because there was quite a few. Like there was Paul Frayne.
Yeah, see, I didn't teach
Scott
Paul.
McClellan. And,
Yeah, I did work with Paul.
Yeah.
But he was the same vintage as Lori Leckie and Sue. So, but I
Same
didn't.
vintage. I like how you put that.
Yeah.
They'll appreciate it.
Like a fine wine.
Right, sure.
The vintage. But anyway, those girls were great, and he was. But there was one of the twins, Lisa, and Lori. One of them's teaching at St. Clair still, art. Yeah, I taught them English, and I had a good relationship with them.
I think of Art, and I think of Sue Gallows.
Oh, Sue Gallows.
She was...
That broke the piece of pottery over the kid's head.
Oh, wow, really? I'd never heard that story.
Oh, that was way back. Well, she was great in a lot of ways.
Her.
Yeah. And she was a tremendous artist.
Was my art teacher.
But she was a crazy.
I was so sad when I heard she passed away.
Oh yeah, it was cancer.
But she would be okay with us talking about her behind her back right now.
She would never be bothered by that. And then her...
So pottery over the head.
Well, the kid just exasperated her, I guess, to a point that she just lost it. And she smacked him over, and you never get... Yeah, and I'm sure it was reported, and there was a big hoo-ha at the board office. I don't remember the whole thing. But anyway, she was back teaching after a relatively brief...
Good for her.
Yeah, she was. But, I mean, that it's just not something...
No.
And LJ Ireland was the head of the department, so she was her department head. LJ, I mean, they were friends, so it was okay. But
I remember her saying to me, David, I don't know how to teach you. Like, I couldn't do stick people. Like, I just...
Oh, that's me.
But she was funny, but she was so... I found her patient, like, quite honestly. Like,
LJ?
I mean, to a point.
Yeah.
I mean, if she was going to... Like, if you were just doing something completely stupid, she would just tell you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure, yeah.
But she... I remember contour lining. That was the thing we were trying to do, and I just...
Yeah.
Anyway, she was wonderful.
I'll tell you, it just dawned on me, we were talking about one student that came back. He was at my retirement party, was Todd Whitlock. And I'd always joked with him and said, if I had a son, I'd want him to be just like you. Anyway, the day I retired, a bouquet of flowers came from him with the nicest... He told me I was why he went into teaching. He went, I mean, you couldn't receive a nicer
that was an opus. Accolade.
I mean, that was just like, that that's something you don't hear all the time. I've had compliments from kids saying,
Sure.
you know, you were a really good teacher, or I thought you were the best teacher I had, and, you know, stuff, but not something like that. And I think that was the only person that, you know, said that. I don't remember anybody else maybe who went to St. Clair.
Well,
but a number became teachers, but they didn't come back there necessarily
Yeah.
to teach.
I remember, well, like I said, you had an impact on me in many ways we haven't even had time to get into here today. But I remember sharing some things that I learned from you when I taught.
Oh, did you?
Well, it was the word, two words that I remember you teaching. You taught relationships and impact.
Yeah.
I remember you talking about that.
And that's
And
something
I shared that with my class at the very beginning,
at the
first day,
college.
when we go through the boring, here's the outline.
Yeah, I know.
And I said, if you don't remember anything, I want you to remember two words.
Isn't that funny?
Relationships and the impact you can have on those relationships.
Yeah.
And that came from you. And so did you probably didn't realize it in the time that you were teaching. It probably wasn't
didn't.
part of what you were doing. But did
no,
you
not
later,
that.
do you look back now and do you realize just how much of an
Well, I
impact you've had on
realized,
people's lives?
yeah, I realized how people could, I realized how many students over the years came to me. And this was different schools too. North Lambton,
Right.
definitely.
And you're dealing with different demographics too in each school,
Yeah,
right?
and in Toronto, I taught 2 years at, oh God, I can't remember, of all things. What the heck was the name of the school? I can't believe I forgot. I remember the principal was Mr. Savell. He was great. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I taught there, and I can remember kids. Oh, I coached the volleyball team there. That's what it was, junior. And I had them over to the house for supper. Like, you know, I know
yeah.
Leck and those guys have done that.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is back in 1978.
You couldn't do that now.
Well, no, I know.
Isn't it unfortunate that we can't
Oh,
do
sure.
that now?
Oh, yeah. It's
Or give a kid a ride home because you know they need...
Jessica coached volleyball at, it doesn't matter which school, she mostly been at the one school. Anyway, and one girl was really upset. She came off the floor. Excuse me. One girl was really upset. She was. And Jessica went like this to talk to her, to make her feel better. The vice principal told her the next day, you can't touch kids like that.
Wow.
Like even girl to girl.
Wow.
You know, because we know
I
what's
remember
happened.
hugging you.
Yeah, oh yeah. I remember going, personal space.
Right?
Like from my dad.
Right.
Well, just joking.
Yeah.
Personal, and they just walked right by me anyway. And
Yeah.
But no, I remember looking back and saying, what a satisfying career it was for me. It wasn't perfect, of course, but
Nothing is.
And you know, you hear people, and I always thought it was awful that I might say this, but you hear people saying all the time, the best thing I ever did in my life was have you kids, you know, their children. Mm-hmm. And although they're a very, very close second, I always felt, well, I reached more kids than my two.
Right.
The best thing I ever did was my teaching, my career.
Yeah.
And I look at how many kids came to me. One girl came crying, she was pregnant. Step outside the room, my office, come on up to
Step
my
outside the room.
Yeah,
I was there a couple of times.
Yeah, but these were for, you know, you might say good things or
Yeah,
whatever. Or, I don't know, I can think of several kids at
Yeah.
North Lambton and here that viewed me. And the witness to this is that I'm in touch in a lot of ways. Lindsay Hayes,
Oh, yeah.
we go out and with the ward comes too, and
Yeah.
you know, and have supper, whatever, lunch, and also Michelle White and
Yep.
and Shannon Roby.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
I see them. I haven't seen them much this year because Shannon's one adopted child, well, they're older, had a baby, so she's a grandmother, she says.
Wow.
Yeah, but anyway, I do have, and if I had more time, there's more that I'd see.
Yeah. Is life short?
Gets shorter as time goes on, believe me.
Right.
Well, you can't. Well, first of all, I have to admit, as high energy a person as I've always been, I can't keep the same pace that I used to.
No?
And it really, not to the, yeah, I know you've seen differently, right, when you've seen me out.
Right.
Well, no, I mean.
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean. I'm tired sometimes doing all the things. I used to be able to teach and, do all these things after and all that. And even after I retired, I don't know. But now I cherish the time that I have for myself. Like sitting out there and having that coffee or a glass of wine,
Yeah.
maybe with a neighbor, maybe not,
Yeah.
or just being at home. And we've traveled, we've done few trips to Europe, loved it.
Yeah.
But now I'm at a point, I want to go again, but do I really want to go through all the I don't know, the hassle,
and the
the
bustle,
packing and all the stuff that's going on now. I don't know how easy that's
Where
going
to
to
go,
be
yeah.
and where to go.
Yeah.
And, we're still looking at Florida with the friends that go with us. And
Yeah.
we have the houses saved that we rent. But, we can cancel up till December 1st in our case.
Right.
And so, without losing anything.
Is that a
So
hard
we will make a
decision for you?
decision.
Is that a
but-
hard decision for you right now?
Well,
Because
it wasn't.
of everything going on?
Yeah, yes and no. I don't feel that stuff that's going on, that's him out there. I'm not saying things can't happen,
Yeah.
but our experience where we go, the people are fine. If you want to hear some people badmouth Trump,
Right.
talk to some of them. And they're Republicans.
Right.
In Florida, that's not maybe all of them by any stretch, but what I'm
Nobody
saying
calls
is,
him President Trump. They just
no,
call him Trump.
nobody. Well, they call him, you ever heard Robert De Niro on
Right.
him?
They've
Oh my
called him a few
God.
things. Yeah.
He's a punk, he says. Hey,
I
come
think
on.
his
Tell us how you-
mafia movies might have come out a little bit there.
Tell us how you really feel. Yeah. But anyway, I just happened to see that. That's what made me
Do you pay
think of it.
much attention? We're not going to go down any holes here, but do
No.
you pay much attention to politics?
No.
No.
I'm sad to say not even Canadian. I do know certain things.
Yeah.
I certainly vote, and I know you're not going to get a perfect politician. I don't care what party they're with. I don't care. And if people complain, okay, you voted. These people voted the other way. That's what we got.
And that's what we
so
have a
now
democracy.
you have
There
you
it
have to
is.
live with that, right? And that's okay. Because how does that necessarily, well, it's easy for me to say maybe, but it doesn't affect my daily life. Even the thing about going to Florida.
Right.
I'm not affected by anything going on there, and
You're just
I
going
don't
to
think we
Florida
will.
for the same reason you went
Yeah,
the first time you went.
yeah, that's right. And
relax
we
and have
love
fun.
it. It was such a great.
When did you meet Ward?
Oh, Ward, the first time I met Ward was at summer school. We were taking a teaching course in the summer.
So he's a teacher as well?
What's that?
What, he teaches as well, or did?
Oh, yeah, he taught at Northern.
Okay.
Yeah, he retired from Northern. He was at Central until it closed.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, then we met then. We were both married at that time to other people. We just, the group was a really good group. We shared ideas. We could see that we had a lot in common. Then I went off to Toronto and, they had first of their 3 kids and, so this is the way it went. And then the next time I saw him, other than, some of our big meetings and stuff,
Right.
was we were no longer married, either one of us.
Right.
So
timing.
Yeah,
for
timing.
sure.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So that's how, and 40 years later, hello. No, everybody laughs again.
40 years later,
Yeah.
right? It's been a great journey.
That's a record for me.
See, there's the sense of humor. Like
I gotta say
you're just being honest, right?
Yeah.
You're being truthful.
Well, it's true.
Yeah, I could say it too.
It is true.
Jennifer's my 3rd wife, and
I
finally figured it
I
out.
didn't know that. She's your 3rd wife.
Yeah, I shouldn't have said that. No interviews for me. But
But
Yeah.
okay. Well, sometime I'll ask you about that. I don't want to do it now.
Yeah,
but
no problem. I'll tell
Yeah,
you.
I'd be
I'll tell you.
interested.
See, I still feel like I can. That's the
Yeah.
thing. Like I always felt that I could tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Even if it was crappy truth.
Yeah.
Or it was something I did to myself or whatever. But you just have that vibe that you put.
Well,
off
I
to
do that
people.
about myself. People go, "Oh my God, how can you say?" I said, "Well, it's a fact of my life.
If I can't make
this
fun
is
of
how
myself,
it went."
Right.
these people, I married them and then I wasn't married to them.
Right.
And then, maybe I'm just not good at relationships. I'm just good at teaching. I don't know.
Well, 40 years, I'd say you're doing something
Yeah,
right
I
there.
think it's either out of pure stubbornness on both sides. He's got to put up with me the same as
Are
way
you
I
saying
do.
he's stubborn?
Probably not like I am, to be honest.
Strong-willed?
Yeah, strong-willed, obstinate. That doesn't have the same flavor.
gotta write
I'm
that
sorry.
down.
Yeah, don't write that down. Just trying to use
Did
my...
you have a favorite, as an English teacher, I always
Yeah.
wonder, did you have a favorite book?
Oh, gosh,
Was
I
there one
love
that
so
stood
many
out?
books.
I know, right?
I don't know if, Dave, if I could choose one right now off the top of my head. I never think about them that way. There were so many that I really loved so much that I didn't want them to end. And if I sat down and thought about it, I could make you a list.
Yeah.
It wasn't just one book.
You're still reading
Couldn't be
them,
one. Yes.
Yeah, today.
Yep.
Do you go back and read the old ones too?
Sometimes, very rarely. Great Gatsby, I did.
Oh, yeah.
Another one
why
was
wouldn't you?
East of Eden.
I've never read that.
Oh yeah, that's that's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was who's the star, the Hollywood star that played.
Yeah, the Great Gatsby.
You know who
yeah.
I mean. Anyway.
Can see him.
Yeah,
Silver
yeah.
screen fellow.
Yeah. But books, and I like all kinds of books, but mostly I favor mysteries and psychological thrillers
Thinkers.
as far as more light reading. But the rest of the reading is more, I like sort of maybe teaching me, like My Mother, Myself.
Oh, okay.
That was a book I read. I got into reading the gratitude book, and for a long time I kept a gratitude journal. Yeah.
So are you, I was going to ask you, are you a personal development person, like a Tony Robbins or that kind of thing, or John C. Maxwell, anything like that?
No, I don't read them. But there's lots of stuff out there. Oh gosh, I just read something. I'm going to have to sit down.
Are you
think
the
of it.
person like you, it's part of your, like when you pick up a book and say, okay, I'm going to read this book, that's like a part of your daily routine? Like I have to have book time?
Yeah, I always read some part of the day, sometimes longer than others.
Yeah.
Ward would say that I'm on my I'm on my iPad more, but
yeah.
I'm sure it's true, but I still read plenty.
But do you read a book or do you read on an iPad?
Oh no, I don't. I
do
don't like that.
Audible?
I want a book in my hand.
Yeah,
I've never wanted. Everybody says, "I can't believe you didn't get a Kindle or whatever."
yeah.
I said, I watch things on there. I don't want to read anything on
Or
there.
audiobooks?
Nope,
Yeah.
not that either.
Old school Diane.
I know. Well,
No, it's great.
I
still have bookshelves.
the book thing is funny because I hate being read to.
Oh yeah.
I read to kids at class.
I always hated.
But I hated being read to.
David, it's your turn. Read.
Yeah, I know that. But even now, Ward will get the paper before me, and I enjoy the paper.
Yeah.
And he starts telling me what's in an article, and I go,
I haven't read
hello,
that yet.
I haven't read that yet.
It's like,
And he
spoiler
says, I
alert.
know, but can I share this with you?
Yeah. Let me read it.
I want to
then we
read
can
it,
talk
then we
about
can
it.
share.
I'm with you on that. Sorry, Ward.
See,
Let
yeah,
her
he's
read
in the
it.
back room.
Yeah.
The
He was
door.
sneaking around
Yeah,
there
was he?
earlier, I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, he came back.
How are we doing as a society and everything? Like, people say, oh, there's all this stuff going on. There was stuff going on in the 40s. There was stuff going on.
I'm just going to agree with you.
Right, Elvis died, and Kennedy was shot.
Yeah. So
has
many.
much really changed?
Well, no, I've always said, and I was going to say that before when you were asking about old in school and whatever. I feel that you could take 10% of any school class in any era, and that's like that's about how many kids are kids that are hard to give you a hard time.
Yeah, right.
I don't feel that there's as many as people like to give, on. And now the school system, unfortunately, has gone to this, they baby them. They think they're entitled. It's not their fault. It's their parents do it. I used to, even at the end of my career, you know, they'd come into a parents' night and, you know, well, how come my son didn't, why did he only get this? I said, and I'd get my book out, well, oh, here's 6 things he didn't hand in. Well, yeah, but I mean, he tried, and I'm like, oh my God, what planet are you know, so here they are, they're being babied by, and this is like a grade 12.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm saying, you know, to myself, do you realize what you've created? You feel you're entitled. Now you've got these kids, and they're going to carry that on until I guess maybe it's not cool anymore. I don't
Jennifer
know.
would say, "Monkey see, monkey do."
Yeah, that's right.
And that.
And-
I mean, you talk about the entitlement thing there. Let's touch on that for more. Like, it's always been around. There were some kids that always thought they were entitled. I know some adults that think they're pretty entitled too.
Yeah, that's right.
Like,
And as far as like say how aghast everyone was at Elvis Presley and his moves and all that stuff.
Oh,
well, then
terrible.
we've got people like
it back, please.
Mick Jagger, and we've got worse than that. What's his name in Nirvana?
have you watched a New Year's Eve lately on
No, I
television?
won't. No, I won't. We don't even stay up for it. For them.
Wow. Like,
Is
I
it
mean, I'm
really-
not a fan. I'm pretty easygoing, you know, but I
Do you recognize anybody? They got-
well, sort of, but not really. But I mean, shaking their booty and everything up there. And I'm like, okay, like, isn't this supposed to be kid friendly?
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe.
Well, I mean, it's a showcase for them.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's nothing to do with the event.
Yeah.
It's like watching football, which we do, and especially, sorry, but Americans. Oh my God! Almost every game it seems, but a home game maybe for teens.
Yeah.
I get. Oh, they've got the fireworks. They got the jets flying over. They've got. I don't
Jennifer
know
and I
what.
were in New Orleans one year
Oh, I
over
can imagine
Christmas.
that.
Over Christmas we were there.
The New Orleans
And
Saints.
we were walking around, and all of a sudden we hear these sirens, and we're like, "Uh-oh!"
what's
We were down
happened?
by the trolley cars downtown
Oh, yeah,
there,
yeah.
and there was a guy on a motorcycle, like a dirt bike, and he was popping wheelies, and we thought, "Oh, the cops are after this guy." Oh no, he was
Just being entertaining.
doing his thing, and then all these coach buses come along. It was policemen on Harleys, and they were escorting the football team to the stadium for
my
practice.
God.
They didn't care about the guy.
Isn't that something?
So there's football,
Yeah.
right?
Well, that is the sport. I mean, you think of Americans, of all the sports they do play.
Oh, it's
Football is
football,
their
yeah.
thing. Baseball, I feel, well, hockey
From public
first.
school even.
Hockey and baseball are ours.
Yeah.
But football is there. That's it. The Friday night lights thing, and
That's-
you know the whole town goes to the game, and
Yeah,
oh my
yeah.
God. I mean, that's all well and good. I don't have any.
No.
I don't have any. But I don't think we have to put it out there so that we all have to watch it.
Right.
What's the point of that?
Yeah. Well, it's entertainment.
That's part of
Diane,
we're the greatest country in the world, I guess.
I guess.
Don't show this to Trump.
I don't. I think he's
You
too
think he
busy.
watches your
But
program?
you know what? Wouldn't it be great if I could interview him?
Oh my God!
This little 56-year-old with this little show interviewing
Well,
Trump.
you-
My views would probably go up.
Yeah, but
I don't know
you-
if my
yeah.
liking would go up.
but you see, it's a whole hour exchange. He hasn't had that many words in his vocabulary
Oh, come on
or
now.
thoughts that he could.
You might not like the words he has, but he could probably pull an hour. I don't know if he
Oh
can
my
pull an hour off or not. You might be right. I
No,
might get 15 minutes.
nobody'd
and-
watch it for sure in that case. Oh my God! No, thank you.
It has been, there's so much more I want to talk to you
I know,
about,
but we can always
this
talk
time-
about not necessarily
Right.
filming it, but
right. We're going to shut
I
the
do see
camera
ya.
off. We're going to talk behind the scenes. Thank you so much. I
Thank you,
absolutely adore you so
Oh,
much.
well, that's
and so
very-
does my wife, Jennifer.
Oh,
She's
really?
just
I've
like,
only just met her-
I can't wait to hear about your interview
Yeah,
with
oh.
Mrs. Clemens and,
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
Oh,
and you
I'd like
talked
to see
about,
you.
yeah, wonderful.
Well, we can always meet. I can meet you at the, whatever down there.
Yeah.
Match or somewhere.
Yeah,
You'd
we
like
like
to
going
go?
to the casino.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we seem to do that. Yeah.
All right. Well,
quite
thank
a
you
bit.
so
But,
much for
you're
your
most
time.
welcome.
It was so wonderful.
You
And
made
thank
it-
you, Ward, for letting me have her for an hour of your time.
Is he,
I
did you hear that, Ward?
don't- yeah, he's around somewhere.
He's got the door.
But you know, that's
think the
don't
door-
run away yet. We
Oh,
got to
oh.
say goodbye.
Oh,
But
sorry.
because you know what, I can't say anything. She's still my teacher, right? Thank you all for watching. Make sure you click the love and the share button so we can share Mrs. Clemens' story and everybody else. And as always, that's all the time I got for you this week. Have a great week and an even better week. And we'll see you next time right here in the show. Bye for now.
Hi.